Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sports Bitches. My name is Rachel Bonetta, and I am joined by two of my little turkeys, Megan Gailey and Sarah Tiana. It is Thanksgiving week, and we are so happy to be here breaking down some football. I'm thankful for these gals. We're thankful for our loyal listeners. Do we have a name for our posse yet? Have we?
Bitches?
Yeah,
the bitches?
bitches.
What's up, bitches? Yeah, if we give out bitch of the week, then I would guess that.
I think we've been slacking on bitch of the week, though.
We have been. Okay, I know
But we have one. We have one this week.
One.
Oh, yes.
But can I just say
right.
maybe thank you to all the y'all are all sports
Yes.
bitches of the week in our dear hearts. Okay, we have a lot to get into. We're going to talk this week of football. We're going to do some fun Thanksgiving things down the stretch. But to kick things off, first off, Meg joined this Zoom with no pants on. She's in Buffalo. The Wi-Fi's not Wi-Fi-ing. This is going to be a spicy episode.
It's a
for
very
Daily.
Buffalo Thanksgiving.
The thing is, like, the Wi-Fi does work. My sister-in-law doesn't remember the password. So I'm in my sister-in-law's primary bedroom that she has graciously given to us, and now I'm on CJ's phone. I took Conrad down a little Gailey and McMahon side of the family memory road because my parents are from Western New York. So listen, the Toledanos may have an outpost here, but the Gaileys and the McMahons go back generations to this hellhole on the lake. Everyone is looking terrible. And what I've learned is that the Buffalo doesn't care who's president. They just want the Bills to win the Super Bowl. Like, that is all that matters to these people. Conrad kept yelling, "Go Bills" on the plane. And then at the restaurant, well, it wasn't a restaurant. We took our son to a bar last night and he kept yelling, "Go Bills." And then a woman goes, "I need him to come over here." And then she made Conrad give their entire table fist pounds.
Wow.
Yes. So I'm not with my family, but as we prepare for this Thanksgiving holiday, I remember the one NFL Thanksgiving game I ever went to. It was 2016. November 2016, I was in a dark place. CJ had not come to rescue me yet. I had blacked out on red wine and screamed at members of my family. And then my brother said, "I really need you to get it together for this Steelers Colts game." And I said, "Of course, I will." Unfortunately, we kicked off the tailgate by going to a open bar that was just like someone hadn't invited us. And so I went to the game with my best friend from high school, my two older brothers, and both of their wives. My parents' season tickets, which they no longer have and is really disappointing to me, were 7 rows up from the end zone. And so you could really communicate with the refs. I was screaming so loudly and so aggressively that at one point a ref looked in the stands right at me and said, "What do you want me to do?" Which is, to be heckled by a ref back is pretty upsetting. I proceeded to get so drunk at this game. When we left the game, I wanted to keep drinking. Now, Lucas Oil at the time did not have a lot of bars around it. So I stumbled into the very first bar that I could find, and my entire family had to trail in after me. And I stumbled into the Red Garter, which is a strip club. My brothers could not find me. It took them 45 minutes to find me. I was sitting down with a man I did not know.
You were in the champagne room.
Yes, who had bought me some champagne. I was fully decked out in Colts gear. No clothes had been taken off. And my brother, Michael, had to find my other brother. Him and his then wife were eating at the strip club buffet.
Not the buffet.
Yes, and they said it was good. And so my brother Michael had to round up all of us and get us out of the Red Garter. And it took him an hour to get the Gailey family siblings out of a strip club together.
Wow.
And that's the story of how Megan had her first turducken. Just stuffed inside of a stuffed thing.
Yeah.
Did they think the buffet was better in comparison to the Steelers Colts game?
No, I think they were just like, listen, you think we're gross for eating it? And it was actually pretty good. Like,
was it a Thanksgiving spread?
Yes.
The buffet?
Yes, it was. And like, gorgeous. I don't know that the Red Garter usually serves food. I've only been there the one time on Thanksgiving with my family.
A lot of particles floating around in the air in there.
Yeah. Sadly, this is not the first time I went to a strip club with one of my family.
On Thanksgiving?
No, the other time it was in like June.
Just wanted to see those giblets. You're just like,
gotta get in there.
Show me the giblets. I have a question though. Like, you remember? Is it Lou Williams, the basketball player that during COVID was like ordering the lemon pepper wings from the strip club in Atlanta?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So sometimes their food could be good
when the mood strikes. When I heard those chicken wings are actually very, very good. Maybe that's our first road trip, the Sports Pictures road trip. Head to the strip club to try the chicken wings.
Listen, if we want to go to the Red Garter, I feel like I can set it up.
Oh hell yeah! I love a strip club.
VIP
I love a strip
club
life. Moment. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I feel like everyone's got some jarring Thanksgiving stories. I remember, I think it was 2 years ago, I texted you guys. It was the very first Thanksgiving I spent with Zach's family. And I was on my period. Yeah. And their dogs got into the trash and ate those tampons. And then they threw them up all over the place. And Zach's dad was like, what is this? And then my small dog ate their throw up. So we had also ingested. So
you did a human centipede of your period.
And happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Oh my God. I have a story. I'll do one if you guys are doing one. When I believe I was 10 years old and we went up to Michigan. We always drove to see my redneck part of the family, the Cole family. They're originally from Tennessee. And my Uncle JR, so I'm 10, my sister's probably 6. And then my younger cousin, April, his daughter was probably 7 or whatever. And so we're all in the house and my Uncle JR's like, hey, do y'all want to see the turkey? And we're like, yeah, let's see the turkey. And we go outside. There is a live turkey flapping its wings and it's hanging by its head on the clothesline. And my uncle takes a knife and chops its head off in front of us. And the turkey lands and runs and then falls over because its body hadn't. And then my aunt proceeded to like pluck it and dress it. And then she complained the whole time that there was corn in its craw. Like, well, yeah, the turkey didn't know it was going to die that day. And then they were wondering, they were mad at us for not eating the turkey at dinner. We're like,
And that's people, like in LA, people are always like, this is farm to table. I'm like, everything in Indiana is farm to table. And you don't know what that really means. Like that means someone died today.
Someone, because they are humans.
Yeah.
They should be treated as such. Okay, well, happy Thanksgiving. We're going to get into some more Thanksgiving
Hopefully your Thanksgivings are better than that.
Sarah, I really feel like you could write like a National Lampoon's-esque family vacation.
I was imagining Cousin Eddie.
Cousin Eddie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, that is who my Uncle JR was, because he did wear Dickies and like really tight bell-bottom pants.
Is JR the one that was shot by your aunt?
Yeah, so he's no longer with us.
No, it's so unfortunate.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because he was a real treasure.
Wow. Did he die from the bullet?
No, he actually, crazy enough, well, he died, I can't believe he didn't die from COVID, but he did die from COPD.
Oh, no. My dad has that.
My mom has that. Oh, no. Thanksgiving's real.
Oh, no. Sorry. I didn't know that.
Well, that got dark quick.
Sorry. Let's go back to the strip club. Chicken wings.
The turkey getting its head cut off.
No, I honestly think every single person in my family of that generation has COPD because they all worked at some factory that then got sued on TV.
Yeah, he worked at Edison and he smoked his whole life, so it was we're always in the van with him and he's like, roll the windows up, the smoke's getting out,
Okay, let's talk about some football. Was it week 12 or week 11? Literally every episode starts with me being like, what week was it again?
I think it was week 12. It was week 12.
I think so too. Okay, let's start with, we're talking families. Let's start with the Brother Bowl that we just saw on Monday Night Football, Chargers versus Ravens. The Harbaugh Bowl, guys, their parents didn't even show up Their parents stayed in Florida to celebrate their 63rd wedding anniversary.
They're old, and that's if
But
I know anything about old people that live in Florida, it's that they hate LA. So they were like, listen, if it's in Baltimore, we'll drive up the RV. You want me to fly into LAX? There's no chance, those elders. And like that dad Harbaugh is crazy. I once well, not crazy. I mean, like, look at his two sons. They both became NFL head coaches. I guess there's like a, like a urban legend or something. It's not even that crazy, where like their gym teacher called and was like, hey, when John or Jim lose, they like freak out, fight people, throw a fit, like you gotta like stop this. And the dad was like, no, that's what I want. So yeah, I think Papa Harbaugh, who looks just like them, like it is a true,
he really does,
like Academy Award level makeup done. I think they were like, no, we're not going to the city of the devil.
Do you guys know what their names are? Jack and Jackie.
The parents?
Yeah, Jack
Little
and
ditty
Jackie.
about Jack and Jackie.
Jack and Jackie.
I love
while we're on the topic of parents dying,
okay.
I do feel like, this might be the last time that they get to see their two sons.
Yeah.
Get your asses to LA. What, those boys couldn't buy you a private jet for the day?
That's
true. Do we even know if they watched it on TV?
No.
They're probably watching their microwave like, oh, good game, boys.
It was such a good game, too. Go ahead, Megan.
Fun.
I'm just always shocked by how late the game is. Like, and I'm like, it starts at 8:20. That's bedtime.
Yeah. No, I know. My dad can never stay up. Or like my mom watches the first half. She's listening to this, and I'm sure she can confirm.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is really late whenever they start on the West Coast. But I thought it was a really good game. The very first half was like the story of the Chargers defense. And then because everyone's like, this is the best defense in the NFL. And then the second half, the story was the Chargers defense because, but not in a good way. Yeah.
I really loved that these two coaches were like, I love him and I would give my life for him. But I would not let him fucking win a football game.
I love that quote.
That was so great. Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I stand by that. Like if it was me versus Chris and we were both coaches, I'd be like, sure, I love him. I'll be with him forever, but I ain't letting him win shit. Ever.
Yeah.
No.
And like brothers, that's such an ingrained, I mean, there's going to be grown men who try and tackle each other in 2 days and wind up in the hospital because it's like, I gotta beat my brother. It's really, I
had a real vendetta against all my brothers because they played with me as rough as they played with each other. They would like, did you guys have a trampoline growing up?
No, because my mom was a nurse.
Okay, well.
No, we couldn't afford it.
My three brothers like are so much older than me, and I'd be in the middle, like rolled up as a little egg, and they would skyrocket me into the fucking space.
That's a fun game. That's the only game to play on a trampoline. It's like,
but not the one when you're the egg.
Let's try to give baby sister a concussion.
Broken limb.
Yeah.
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 My weapon of choice was the end of a vacuum cord.
Oh, no way.
I'd throw the cord, and I got my brother once in the eye, and he like laid down on the carpet for like an hour to make a scene. Okay, but it works.
Yeah, you're the youngest.
Our weapon of choice was the remote. Me and my sister would hit each other with the remote. We were always fighting over the remote. And we had a big screen TV with a satellite dish. So the remote was like the size of, a small log. And you just whack somebody on their shin. And you're like, oh.
Oh, yeah.
Hitting over it. She always won. My sister is 3.5 years younger than me, but she was always bigger than me. So I would always lose, and I would have to go watch football in the rec room, which was a garage that we converted into just like a playroom.
That's what I did.
Freezing cold with an ugly couch. I was like, all right,
listen,
I'll go watch Price is Right in there.
That's fun though. When I'm in our rec room, that's actually our garage / laundry room / where CJ's sneakers are. I'm like, this is living. My brothers would just lock me in our Cocker Spaniel's cage for hours.
Yeah.
Hours. And then we had an airtight chest that my mom was so proud of from Ireland, and they would put me in there.
Wow.
I feel like that's still a way to kind of deal with you, maybe.
Yeah.
I could see your family or CJ doing that to you, or Conrad being like, no, like I don't like what mommy's saying. I'm gonna lock her in the dog crate.
Okay,
All right.
well,
So the Harbaugh Bowl was
that was
fun.
a fun way to kick off Thanksgiving
Oh,
week.
can I say one last thing about
Please.
it that's really not even football related? I had convinced myself the game was going to be in Baltimore because the Rams hosted Sunday Night Football at SoFi at night, and then who who turned it around fast enough that it was ready for the Chargers on Monday Night Football? That is less than 24 hours that they got
What
to
would
like.
they have to do? What would they have to do? Just spray over the middle and the end zones?
Yeah, they just have to repaint.
Yeah, because it's all digital.
I thought
But it is the
Changing
end
the
zones.
colors of the
end
seats.
zones.
This is what I don't love about sharing stadiums, and I know SoFi's like beautiful, is that it's like stripped of the teams out in like the hallways, in the foyer. They don't get to have like the big pictures. And like I know they actually do have sort of similar color palettes, but it's even when you would go to Staples, it was like, I don't think the Clippers have ever been here. Like you felt you felt the Lakers, and the Clippers like maybe rented it once a month. But
it always feels like a house after a divorce where you're like, oh, there's no more family photos up.
Yeah, it's so strange to me that these like two teams, and obviously they do it in like Meadowlands. I'm like, you guys don't get to have like green carpeting. I don't know. I just like a stadium to be like so like problem child tacky. Like I just want it like covered in the stuff that I'm sad for.
Every time too, go ahead, right?
It just doesn't fit for me, the Chargers playing at SoFi. It fits for the Rams. Like I just feel like that's the Rams' home, and the Chargers need something more small. I'm not saying
intimate.
That they're not. No, but just like they're the underdog. They're the little brother. They're scrappy. Like they need a smaller, like Oakland A's shitty ass place.
The Rams slogan is Rams House.
I know that's what I was gonna say. Every time they say whose house, I'm like, well, technically it's like your house, but like you Airbnb it every other weekend like to the Chargers.
It's a duplex.
I hate that shit. Whose house? All game long. It drives me nuts.
I wonder if they came up with that as a dig to the Chargers, because
that's a really good point.
Some intern that was like, "Hey, this isn't actually our house."
Yeah, because we sublet it.
They're like in the cage now.
Yeah, in the dog crate. Chargers.
Lady, and it was a Cocker Spaniel. Those aren't even big dogs.
Yeah. Those aren't. Yeah. No. Okay. Into the Irish quiet box.
It was like 15 pounds.
Oh, poor little Meg. Okay, let's talk about some other teams. I want to put this on the rundown because I know Sarah's got thoughts, and I know Sarah's going to take us on a real ride with this one. But the Eagles are unfortunately they're number 3 favorited to win the Super Bowl. What happened? When did that happen? When did that go down? They are, what are they? I can't remember what they are. Plus something, 700.
8-3.
Thank you. Yep. Plus 650. Thank you, to win the Super Bowl. Saquon is making a very loud argument for MVP this year. He is so fun to watch this season.
Yeah, I know he's so fun, and like that whole team is really fun, and Jalen Carter is like a menace to deal with on the defense. Their defense has really stepped it up, but it really is Jalen Hurts and Saquon running that team. Their show. There's like, Devontae Smith just got hurt, and then like Brown is in and out. It's just like I don't really know, but also who have they really played? That's the other thing. It's like they have a really tough schedule coming up, and I'd like to see how they do against the Ravens and the Steelers. Like, to me, that's going to be their real test. And I mean, the Falcons beat them. Granted, it was early in the season, and I don't even think that we're back. We're not going to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, I think we might win a playoff game, but like. I don't know. I don't think the Eagles have really, truly been tested, and they're banged up.
Yeah.
It did.
Go ahead, Meg.
I was just gonna say, it did strike me. I think Saquon said in like an interview how much happier he is and how much more he feels like himself. And I'm always like, drama, like just as an ex-girlfriend,
Tea.
as someone when people are like, this is who I'm really meant to be. And I don't necessarily even think he wanted to leave New York. But it does it I guess coming on the tail of the Daniel Jones divorce, because they said it was amicable, it does sort of look at the Giants and be like, man, you're really dysfunctional, because this guy wanted to stay there. Now he's at a division rival, which I know I harp on every time. And he's saying how much like freer he feels and sillier he feels. It is tough. CJ always reminds me that Saquon went to Penn State post Sandusky. And it's like, that is a choice. That is an interesting. It's like there's a lot of other schools to go to. I just feel like I'd be like, give me sit this visit out.
But didn't he grow up in Pennsylvania? So like I feel like
Pitt's good at football.
But I feel like part of that happiness is him being home and him maybe being for the team that he liked when he was growing up. And I think, Penn State might have been the team that you cheered for when you were growing up. So then like that's going to be a place that you decide to go because that's a team you want to cheer for. You don't want to play against the team that you grew up loving. So I think a lot of that comes into play. And I think a part of his happiness is just being in Philadelphia around family, feeling like he's at home for a team that he grew up cheering for. I do not think it's Nick Sirianni. I still think he's trash. And I think that maybe the Eagles make the playoffs and win one game. I don't see them winning more. And I certainly don't see them beating the Lions. Like not in a first quarter, not winning it, not winning the second quarter, like nothing.
Saquon could break a record this year. I do feel like Saquon's like such a great argument for MVP, and he
for
could
sure
break, like the most rushing yards of the season if he stays on pace, which would break Eric Dickerson's record, which he's had for like decades at this point.
Yeah, because we all thought at the beginning of the year that Derrick Henry was going to do it, and then he's kind of like trailed off a litto bit, and Saquon has just run circles around. I mean, he had more yards than the entire New York offense did.
Yeah. And to touch on Derrick Henry, just because he's on my fantasy team, I feel like they're not using him correctly. Like it's like in that game that they lost last week, it was like he wasn't in on the 2-point conversion. He like had no yards in the second half, and I know that we've talked about his age, and so maybe they are like, oh, we need to preserve, and he's on like a pitch count. But I'm like, can you unleash him for the sake of Latu Latu Love, which is the name of my fantasy team?
I do feel like they are probably just giving him a little bit of a breather because they obviously feel strongly that they're going to be big contenders this year, and you want Derrick Henry, you want him in your like toolkit at the end of the year, not right now, especially in like winnable games.
I thought Latu Latu Love was the name of like a lineman. You know how like they have
Latu Latu is the Colts defensive end who is leading defensive rookies with forced fumbles and sacks. His name is Latu Latu, and I have been on record saying if a football player's first name and last name are the same, put them in the Hall of Fame. Like that is a man who can fucking play ball.
Who's the guy? I forget which team he plays for, but his name is like Taki Taki, and I just like love it.
We had a guy named Fatelli playing for our high school, Samoan. How are you Samoan in Indiana? I don't know. Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame.
Hold on, I want to stay on the Giants for just a quick second. What do you think? Who's got the worst New York team right now? There is this video that's going viral on Twitter that I saw this morning, and I don't know who it was, but it was like all the masterminds of the Giants in the offseason. They were in the office and they were talking about whether they should keep Saquon or not. And they were just like, one guy was arguing for him. The other guy was just like, what do we get? No, like he's too expensive. And now that video is like gone viral again. So who is in a shittier spot this season? Who's walking away from this season looking like an absolute ass? More so, Giants or Jets?
For me, it's the Jets because they've spent so much money and completely imploded their whole system and like the faith in their system. They've already fired their GM and their coach. And I think When it comes to the Giants are just kind of embarrassed about letting Saquon go and paying Daniel Jones. To me, that was one big mistake, but the Jets have made several big mistakes. And now Aaron Rodgers this morning is like, I don't even know if I want to play. And it's like, oh, you're in defense mode because the team has already let it leak through Diana Rossini that like you might get benched. And so you're trying to save face. Oh yeah, they're saying that the team is probably going to bench him and they might even cut him so that they can like save a little bit.
No notes. Incredible.
No notes. And now he's on McAfee saying like, I'm not really sure I really want to play or I feel good enough to play.
Sorry,
it's like,
but what a pussy. What a fucking pussy. I bet you he's just like, you know what? I'm going to put it out there that I'm not really interested in playing football anymore because I want to get into Trump's cabinet. I want to be playing some strings.
And he probably could. I think the Jets are like on year 100 of being embarrassing, and the Giants like not too far back, but there are some Super Bowl wins in the semi-distant distant past. I do think because I'm guessing that off-season clip is from the HBO Hard Knocks off-season. We have enough. We don't need that.
Too much.
Enough. Please, we don't need to fucking film any more teams doing anything. We don't need to see the AFC North doing
I'm excited for that.
I am not. It's too much. And I also think
There's so many people that we hate in that.
What Hard Knocks used to be, it's the same way that reality TV is failing, is because everyone is so aware of cameras. And so you are not going to get these raw moments of really, everyone's like, oh, a camera's coming in. And I think it fucks up your team.
The Giants are going to have a high draft pick. And I honestly just trust their owner more. Like, I just don't think that Woody Johnson knows what he's doing. He's just like a little bit quieter Jerry Jones. You know what I mean?
Woody Johnson.
Yeah, Woody Johnson. I mean, that's the guy that got made fun of and was like, I'm going to show everybody who I am. I'm going to show you a hard Johnson, and I'm going to make $1 billion.
He had to become a billionaire.
Yeah, there's no other choice. Yeah, there's no other choice.
Him, Dick Hertz. We got to pull up the Forbes 500, and it's all men with weird dick names.
Here we are. Yeah. So the Giants I think the Giants can correct pretty easily by like getting a good draft pick and then getting a new coach. And I know.
I'm a big Dave.
Yeah, I know, but it's like Daniel Jones is not a bad quarterback. You know, he should right now, and we need to talk about this. I think he should go to Miami to be the backup for Tua, but obviously he's probably going to go. He could go to the Raiders right now and be a little Band-Aid, but in my mind, I don't think the Raiders are going to pay him because they never have any money. So I think they really need a good backup for Tua, and they've shown that. In Miami,
he's such a white man. I feel like he needs to be somewhere in the middle of the country. He doesn't fit in a Vegas to me, and he doesn't fit in a Miami to me. Like, I don't think that those teams are his personality. He is like white bread.
But Mike McDaniel did not look like that when he got moved to Miami, and then now
you think he's gonna get Daniel Jones is gonna get a glow up and wear jeans?
He's gonna get bad boysified.
You better make a Photoshop in ChatGPT of Daniel Jones with a tan and those Mike McDaniel sunglasses. He's gonna he could Joe Burrow his hair and go platinum blonde, and then he should start wearing those great pants that Mike McDaniel wears, which are like the sweats that show his ankle, and they're like skinny and like baggy at the same time.
Great pants.
They're always the best pants. He always has the best pants.
CJ calls those baby pants. Like those are what babies wear. We were playing.
Does Chris wear those? Do you buy those?
Yeah.
For Chris?
Oh, I make Chris wear those. Yeah. I made him wear them. I just made him wear them in Christmas photos.
No shot.
They were green. Because they were
like
green and they looked dressy.
Jordans?
Low top. No. Jordan 1s. Yeah. Low top Jordan 1s. Yeah.
We were playing like basketball with one of Conrad's little friends, and his little friend is so cute. His dad was there. His dad is a Dolphins fan. And so CJ was like playing basketball too hard. The ball hit the rim, came back, hit this toddler in the head, full speed head. And so then the little friend was like being kind of weird. And I go, look at Tua over here. The dad did not like it. The dad did not like it.
Did he say something or did he like?
He goes,
laugh?
no, not Tua. He like,
Oh,
as
no.
a Dolphins fan, he was like, please don't call my son Tua.
Okay. Because he's Threa. He's not Tua. He's Threa.
He was turning 3 the next day.
Well, see?
I feel
Maybe
like
that's
those-
what he was upset at.
Back to the pants, the more important discussion. I feel like Zach's got a pair of those and he always wears them to the airport. And I'm like, bro, I can see your full pickle in this. You gotta, like, the way that they sit.
That's what I thought she was going to
Yeah,
say.
Sarah,
She said
the
you can see his
sicko.
ankles.
She wants to see. Yeah, you're looking at the. Those are.
I
pickle
love a hot
pants for
ankle
sure.
on a man. I love a hot ankle on a man. Because, yeah, I don't know. It's just like,
Ankle?
yeah, I think that look is super cute when you have like little skinny ankles and you can show them off and they look really good with like crisp, clean sneakers, and then you just like wear like a hoodie. It's like a really hot, but like you look like you're not trying, but you're definitely trying.
I always think they're
That's
going to
it.
have like the snaps down the center to get their
No!
diaper changed. They're from Baby Gap.
Oh my
Also,
gosh.
the fact that
It's
you're
coming from a
looking
woman
out
that wasn't
for-
even wearing pants when we started this.
She's got you
I
there.
have a long sweater
She's got
on.
you there.
I have a long sweater on that most people would wear as a dress, but I am self-conscious about my knees. And the first time I was ever on television, a man wrote, "Dem knees, dough," first comment. So
Oh my god, that's so awful. Skinny ankles. Okay.
Yeah, skinny
Sarah's
tan ankles.
into
Like, yeah,
skinny
yeah.
ankles.
get them lotioned up.
Yeah. Don't want ashy skinny.
I'm
ankles.
just saying.
Okay, let's talk about. I don't know how to transition from skinny ankles. Well, Patrick Mahomes probably has some skinny ass ankles because he's always kind of rolling them.
Yeah.
They've got him taped to shit. Chiefs, they are 10-1, but they look like absolute diaper trash right now. They won a very close game against the Panthers, 30-27. Mahomes was sacked 5 times in this game. And they walked into the locker room. Mahomes didn't talk to a single one of his players. And then he went and spoke to media and he was just like, I'd love to win a game, not on the last play. Like, it seems like, I mean,
Every game that they've won is by 1 score.
no, I know, and I think that in the beginning we were like, well, they always find a way. They always find a way to figure it out. But you can't win by the time you get to the playoffs, you're gonna be fucking exhausted.
Yeah, I wonder if the defense is like, yeah, we would too, dude. We've been carrying you. You're not having a great season. So like, if you want to be upset, Chris Jones is front of the line to be upset, not Patrick Mahomes. They're just like, they're magicians. Like they defy gravity. Okay. They are.
We're not holding space for defying gravity on this podcast. We're not doing that.
I know. I only said gravity because I said defy. And I was like, I've been listening to it all week. I can't bet against them being able to pull it off because all they do is pull it off. And like, as I sit here in Buffalo and these people's lives depend on it, like they're not going to make it. All that matters is the playoffs. And so like, yes, they're 10-1. They're going to have home field advantage. Do you know how hard it is to go into Arrowhead and win in January? Like, well, the Colts used to do it all the time, but a lot of other teams can't do it. It's very difficult. So it's like, I also think some of this, like I think it's show. They're not in a bad place. They're 10-1. They have the best record.
You think that they're like throwing it so that they can like really impress at the end of the season?
No. I think they're huffing and puffing and being like, we got to get it together. You don't have to get it together. You have the best record in the AFC. So what is there to get together?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have gotten lucky a few times though. Like as much as I keep thinking like, oh, Andy Reid is just like such a good coach and he finds a way to win, but they get bailed out on a call. Like at the first 3 games of the season, they got bailed out at the end of the game each time.
They do.
And so that's 3 wins right there that you could kind of take away. Every game has been close. Every game has barely been won. It was like, you blocked a field like Denver. You would have lost the game in Denver, but then somehow Taylor Voodoo happened, and then the field goal gets blocked, and then like you somehow win. And so I just think,
I mean, it would make sense if they were like close with teams that they should be close with, but some of these teams that they've had these close scores with, they're just like, they have no business being so close to them.
No, and
Yeah.
I agree with that. I just don't think they're going to stop getting calls all of a sudden. They get the calls. It's like LeBron not getting 55 free throws. Like that's what happens. They're not going to get into the playoffs and they're going to go, we can't give Patrick Mahomes calls. Like they're still going to get them. They're still going to get lucky.
Bring up the Eagles again, who are still trash, won't always be trash. But this happened with the Eagles last year. Same exact thing. Winning, barely winning. First 10 games of the season were so good. Last 8 games of the season, couldn't win. And Chiefs just lost to the Bills. They barely beat the Panthers. Now they're going to play the Raiders on Black Friday. I think they lose that game. I'm taking them. I'm taking the Raiders to win that game. The Raiders have been close, and they've been scrappy, and then they played better with the quarterback. Although, you know, who was the guy got hurt this week? So I don't know.
O'Connell
might be coming back because Desmond Ridder had to go into the game at the end of the game on Sunday. So if Desmond Ridder is playing against the Falcons on Monday Night Football in 2 weeks, who's the guy that we, drafted 2 years? Anyway, it could be a Desmond Ridder defense game, revenge game. Yeah, we drafted him from Cincinnati, and then he was going to be our knight in shiny armor, and then never started him. But
very here for a collapse in that
too.
half of the season for the Chiefs. That would be.
But they do have a tougher schedule coming up. I mean, kind of they play the Browns and the Raiders.
I would say that they have an easy schedule, but they've been losing these easy ass games. They've got the Raiders, the Browns, the Broncos,
the Chargers.
The Texans have been kind of weird lately.
I want them to collapse. I do not want them to win the Super Bowl. I would love, I want a Lions-Bills Super Bowl and to just cry no matter what happens. But I also my memory reminds me that the Chiefs do it.
Yeah. It's you just can't bet against them because every time you do, you lose money.
I know, 13 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, Patrick, I know that Patrick has a ton of interceptions and he keeps getting sacked, but he is doing everything. He is the master of 3rd and 18. Somehow he gets free. He runs, throws the ball over the first down marker before he runs out of bounds, 2 yards short of the first down, but somehow he gets the ball over there. It's he's doing it all. He's doing it all. I mean, and I thought Xavier Worthy was going to be even better because he started out so hot. He's really fallen off. But DeAndre Hopkins has been doing everything too. So not DeAndre, but
whose mom stole the packages?
Oh,
I know this was weeks ago, and I remember wanting to talk about it, and it just popped in my brain again as we sit here on the eve of shitty gifts coming. It was also in an apartment complex, which it's girl, there's cameras in an apartment complex, and she was wearing her son's jersey. As someone who had a bunch of wedding presents stolen, I don't like. Your son is rich. Your son is rich, Mom.
Guys, listen to this. This season, 2024 season, Patrick Mahomes has been sacked 27 times. He's only been sacked more than that one season, and it was 28 times. That was the full season. He's already been sacked 27 times. So, I mean, if Patrick Mahomes gets a bad hit, then
I know
you are
you guys
really
are done.
Fucked.
Yeah, and you're not getting those.
This will be this season. He'll be the most sacked of his career.
Yeah, and he just pops right up. Those little toys where you go like this and they fall down. Then his little hair props. I mean, ketchup must be healing. Do we need to get some of that? Really?
I don't know. I've seen marathon runners just absolutely squirting an entire bottle of mustard into their mouth. So maybe ketchup.
You're gonna say in their pants. I'm I think that's diarrhea.
Get out of the pants, Megan. Where is your brain? You go to Buffalo one time.
Yeah, I get around my family and I just get freaky.
Have you had chicken wings yet?
Oh yeah, we had them last night and they were so good.
Buffalo wings, you mean?
Yeah, buffalo wings. Are you guys
absolutely? Oh yeah. I was going to make a comment about buffalo wings. If we're ready to get off that, that's fine.
No, I'm not. I was going to ask you if you're a flat or if you're a wing, if you're a drummy.
I'm a wing girl.
I'm a drummy.
Zach absolutely betrayed me the other night. Yeah. We were setting up our Christmas tree with Sunday Night Football. I was I want to enjoy my football. I want to have some chicken wings. What would you think? Chicken wings in football. You're thinking buffalo.
Yeah.
You're thinking dipping it into the blue cheese or into the ranch.
Yeah.
He went and got some funky, I mean, they were delicious, but they were like Korean
I like that.
chicken wings, and they were delicious, but they were not what I was looking for.
I think if you get that, I think if you get like a teriyaki, you also got to go old school and get like a buffalo. Like, it's like, listen, I'm ready to Lou Williams,
Lemon pepper.
lemon pepper
pepper.
with some hoops in my face, but I also need some Anchor Bar OGs.
Thank you. Thank you. And that's how I
Yeah.
felt. And this would be the first time that he's hearing of it because I didn't say anything. Because he was
He
so
said,
excited.
"Oh, I love these."
Oh my God,
That
these are so good.
That's such a honeymoon answer. You're like still in the honeymoon phase. Give it a few years, like me and Megan, and then you'd be like, "Bitch,
What is this shit?
get out of
What is
here!
this
Go back to
shit?
the restaurant and get me what I
Yeah.
Order them again.
We had wings last night. We're having wings again tonight.
I might fuck with some wings tonight. How's that?
Wings are so
Dude,
good.
if you had
Order
wings for
them up.
Thanksgiving in Buffalo, I would be like, that tracks. Like, we're
Yeah.
having a spicy buffalo turkey.
Delicious.
That actually does sound. Hot take.
Give it to me.
Turkey, not good.
You
No,
know
I'm a
what?
ham person.
Trash.
No,
Trash
turkey's not
garbage.
good. I love honey baked. I love what Sarah's saying. I want to try the Popeyes turkey because I'm like, I trust Popeyes.
Oh, I do too. They have a turkey?
Yeah. With all
Like
the
you could-
fixins.
What?
And I don't know if it's like bone. I don't know what it looks like, but like they've been advertising it, and I'm like, listen, I wouldn't do because like like Arby's is advertising some sort of like turkey, and I'm like, I don't trust Arby's to give me like delicious turkey, but I trust Popeyes with anything, with my life.
Wow.
Did you guys know that Arby's, the name Arby's came from the letter RB?
I did know that.
I just found it out and my mind was blown. And now I feel like
know.
everybody already knew.
Rest in peace to the Hollywood Arby's.
Oh, that was a good one.
I know.
Okay, let's talk a little bit of college football, and then we'll finish up with who we're inviting to our Thanksgiving dinner. Sarah, I put this in the rundown, and you got fired up as soon as I said it to you. College football playoffs credibility taking a hit as race is littered with mediocre contenders downstretch. That came from CBS Sports. Your thoughts, please.
I mean, I think it's, I think.
Oh, she's loading up.
When they
She's
say
loading up the ammo.
mediocre, I'm guessing they're talking about teams outside the SEC, because the reason so many of these SEC teams have 2 losses is because the SEC is so freaking hard now because of NILs and the transfer portal. No one's transferring out of the SEC. They're just transferring to other schools. So you have all these 5-star recruits who've all been going to these big schools like Georgia and Alabama. And then when these guys don't get to start, they transfer to another school. But they don't transfer to Iowa or Nebraska or USC or Michigan. They transfer to Florida, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Mizzou, Texas A&M, and now you have Texas and Arkansas and Oklahoma all in the SEC, and they never work. So like now it is like such a stacked division that every game is so freaking hard. Like Georgia's schedule this year is insane. Like we've lost 2 games, but both of them were to ranked teams. And, then Alabama gets their butt kicked by Oklahoma, who's not ranked, but could be. And but they only scored a field goal. They never even scored a touchdown. And so it's become a lot. But I don't know if they're talking about the mediocrity being Indiana, because Indiana got its first loss against Ohio State this last weekend, which Megan is definitely excited about because she loves Purdue. And, the story is like, if you put Indiana in, they're going to lose in the first round and get embarrassed. And so is that the mediocrity that they're talking about? Because I don't know. I mean, even Penn State hasn't played anybody. Neither is Notre Dame. Notre Dame's and they haven't played anybody. So it's like, and when I say anybody, I mean a ranked team. Like you guys are playing a ranked team, which listen, the early football rankings, like the preseason college football rankings are absolute trash. Like there's absolutely no way to know how good a team is going to be before the college football season starts because most of those guys left for the NFL draft. And you have no idea how good a recruit is going to be or how good a team is still going to be when they've changed a coach, they've changed their quarterback, like they've changed their whole system. Like you don't know what that's going to look like. Look at Alabama, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Georgia came in ranked number 1, then we lose to Alabama. Then all of a sudden we're going up and down and up and down. And it's just like, it's kind of a disaster. And now, what we needed last weekend was for Tennessee to lose and Alabama to lose in order to guarantee us a spot in the playoff or to get to the SEC championship. Both of those things happen and Ole Miss loses. And it's just like, oh my gosh. So like all the teams that beat us lost. Now they are all out. They cannot go into the championship. I think Tennessee still can. Tennessee's in the best place because they get basically into the playoff, but they don't have to play a conference championship. So now Georgia's going to play in the SEC championship against the winner of Texas A&M this weekend. Mm-hmm. If we lose that game, we are out. You know what I mean? And it's like, but if we hadn't had to play the SEC championship, we would be in.
College football makes absolutely zero sense.
It makes zero sense. They should not continue to have these conference championships. Yeah, no, they shouldn't keep. If they're going to do this expanded playoff, they do not need the championships, but they're doing it because it makes money. Yeah. So it's an absolute disaster. It's absolute trash. And there is definitely some mediocrity in there. And I don't like it. Like I want the Big Ten to be good. I want the Pac-12 to be good. We need the competition to be healthy around the board, but it's really hard to recruit guys to a system where they don't feel like anybody's going to be watching them. I mean, USC is 7-5. Like it's embarrassing. So like how do you get guys to come and play for you? It's hard to get guys to go to Michigan, A, because they just had a coaching change, but B, who wants to live in Michigan when you can live in Georgia without snow every day and you can go out and party in December?
Yeah, Ann Arbor is lovely.
It's beautiful.
But it is cold. It's cold. I take this with a grain of salt. Purdue is the worst they've ever been. And so that obviously impacts how much I want to watch college football because my team is terrible. But I do think, and I know that I've been critical of the expansion of the playoff, but I think my criticism actually is for how the reshuffling of the conferences has been. Because yes, USC and UCLA are teams right by me, and now they're in the Big Ten, the conference I grew up with. But it's still even hearing Sarah explain this, I'm like, this doesn't make any sense to me. And I love football, and when I turn on a game, I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are. I don't care about them. It's sort of the same thing that's happened with college basketball, where it's like there really aren't any stars because people are moving around a lot. And obviously, if you're really paying attention to SEC football, you can name 10 stars. But I love sports, and the way that college football has sort of consolidated and done such a money grab, it's made me go, I don't like this, and this isn't really for me anymore.
I think that the best thing about college football right now is the pregame, and it's whatever dog Kirk has decided to bring. We had Ben, R.I.P., and now we have Peter, I believe is his name.
Peter.
And you have these kids trying to kick these field goals for $800,000, and Peter's just getting
in the way.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Eddie wanted me to say that Notre Dame did beat an SEC team, and that's true. They beat Texas A&M in week 1, so that doesn't even count.
Calm down, Eddie. Okay, let's talk. Let's finish strong here. On the road, he says.
He's like, on the road.
I am going to watch Ohio State, Michigan. I do think that is a rivalry that I still go, this is fun. I like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to watch it to watch Michigan get their butt kicked for once, which is kind of fun.
Okay. Every single year around this time, around Christmas, sports media does the what's underrated, what's overrated, cranberry sauce. What are your thoughts on that? And we could get into that. We could probably make it way better than what they're doing. But what we are going to do, as we have decided, we've had some homework this past week. We needed to pick 3 athletes, and these are the people that we want to bring to our Thanksgiving dinner all together. And we also needed to come up with what dish they were going to bring. So I think the way that we do this is we go one by one. So I'll go, Sarah will go, Megan will go until we have all 3 of our people.
Okay? Great. A round robin.
Do you want me to go first?
Please.
Okay, cool. With me, bringing who I'm going to bring to the Thanksgiving dinner with the sports bitches. And I'll even tell you where I'm going to sit this person. I'm going to bring Xavier Leggett, and he is going to be seated right next to one Sarah Tiana. Yeah. So that can be ding 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 ding. We love this man. He is from the Panthers. He is so fun. He's got the deepest Southern accent you've ever heard in your life. And I feel like he could bring some ripping mac and cheese. So I'm going to go with that. And he's seated right next to our girl, Sarah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I love that. That was really good. I love your guess. So wait, we're picking 2 or 3?
3.
We're picking 3, but we're going to go one at a time.
Okay. All right. All right. So then my first guest is going to be Hank Aaron, because I just want to hear stories about his time on the Braves, but he's also from Mobile, Alabama. So I want him to either bring fish, or he owns some Popeyes. So maybe I'll have him bring that Popeyes.
Ooh, yes,
please.
I like that.
So I would, yes, and I would sit him next to Rachel so that she could fall in love with baseball a little bit too.
I like that.
Okay,
Great
Megan.
Okay, my first pick is going to be Shohei Ohtani. And
I thought
if he wants to bring his wife, that's fine, but I'm not using a pick on her, and I would prefer she didn't come.
Yeah,
but if he like needs a friend, I'd be like, bring your dog. And I'm gonna sit him right next to Conrad. And I was like, how do I pick something for him to bring and it not be racist? But like, I have been to Asian Thanksgivings before, and there is always white rice. And white rice, like white sticky rice, is like one of my favorite foods ever.
Love
and
it
goes with anything. So I am going to have Shohei Ohtani bring white sticky rice.
Oh, God. Wait, was my mac and cheese pick bad too?
I would say borderline, but like
I was gonna say asparagus because he says it funny.
Well,
Eddie,
you
cut
can
it
change
out.
it to that.
Cut it, Eddie.
Listen, at one point I did have a black man bringing mac and cheese, and I was like, how will this reflect upon me?
Well, the reson why he says he only eats American food, like
no,
burgers.
You're not. It's
and
you're
cancel me. No, cancel me.
I want mac and cheese.
No, I think mac and cheese
is a Thanksgiving staple.
Yes, you didn't say collard greens, which would be like way more racially insensitive, like I just said it.
Hank Aaron's bringing Popeyes. So.
Yeah, but he owned some Popeyes franchises. He owned 27, and that's why I didn't just make that connection out of nowhere.
Okay, Megan's bringing sticky rice. Megan's probably also seating CJ at the little kids table in the next room. Like he's not even going to be at the table so that she can have some one-on-one time with Shohei.
I sat at the little kids table last year. So wherever Shohei is sitting, I'm sitting Conrad, and then I'm on the other side of him, and no one can talk to him.
I actually didn't know anybody else was invited. I thought it was just the 3 people that I chose and me.
Well, we like to clarify things on this podcast.
Okay.
And we like
I couldn't find childcare, so Conrad's coming.
Yeah. Okay, the next person that I'm going to invite also, I wanted to bring my guests first. I wanted to bring people that would be interesting to you guys, okay? So my next guest, because I love to watch Megan just absolutely eviscerate people, I'm going to bring Jim Irsay. And Jim's going to bring a big old bag of cocaine with him so we can get things really going.
So we can stay awake for all of Jim Irsay's stories.
Really give her, so we can really do a full send. I don't know what Megan's going to yell at him, but I'm sure the list is long.
You know what? He could like do it like this on top of the pecan pie, like it's like powdered sugar.
Oh, love that.
A little bump on a turkey leg.
Yes.
That's my choice.
It's
Thank you so much.
It's pecan pie, as me and Xavier legit would say. All right, the next person I'm going to bring is Joe Kelly, the relief pitcher for the Dodgers.
Yes, love him.
He's so fun. I never know what he's going to say. I just want to hear all the dirt and all the trash on everybody playing. I want the real Trevor Bauer story. I want I want to know all the behind the scenes drama because I know Joe Kelly would spill it. I would let him. Yeah, and he's hot and he's fun and his wife is hot. She could come too. I would sit him between Megan and Chris because he used to pitch for the Red Sox. So Chris and him will have lots to talk about. And he loves Latin culture and he loves wearing those mariachi jackets. So I would have him bring tamales. So we have like a little Mexican Thanksgiving flair in there.
Yes.
And he gave Ohtani his number. He gave him 17.
Oh, yeah.
And then Ohtani gave his wife like a Porsche or something.
A Porsche.
Yes. Okay, so great. So everybody is friends. Everyone is getting along. And I'm going to bring someone for me and for Jim Irsay. I am going to invite Anthony Richardson because he has had an up and down year. And I want to speak face to face with him and let him know how thankful I am that he is on my team. And since he is from Florida and we are in a month that ends in B-E-R, a Burr month, I'm going to ask him to bring stone crab claws. My favorite food of all time.
Okay. I didn't know that was your favorite food of all time. Great. Yeah. Isn't CJ allergic to shellfish?
Yeah, he's allergic to all fish. Anaphylactic will die.
So Megan's like, please bring all that you can. Is he sitting next to CJ?
Anthony, CJ is somewhere. I haven't found him a seat yet. No, he's sitting. CJ can sit next to my third guest.
Okay.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
My final guest. Okay, my final guest. He's one of my favorite characters in the NFL. I'm going to pick Dan Campbell. Yeah. Because I think that we need a really good pep talk going into 2025. And I feel like he's going to have tears. He's going to be banging on the table. We can do this thing. Did he vote for Trump? Probably. But you know what? I think that he is going to really rile us up. He's going to take a little hit of that cocaine from Jim. And he's just going to just really get us going. And I think that he's going to be bringing the 50-cent boneless wings from Applebee's.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is awesome. All right. That's a good one. All right. My final guest is Matthew Stafford. I'm going to have him sit next to Cage so that Cage can get to know his new stepdad, his future stepdad, and I will have him bring divorce papers.
Yeah.
Matthew Stafford was moving and grooving in that Rams game.
He was. And it's like hair's a little longer. He was looking cute the other night.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yes. This is actually no offense to Kelly. This is just me doing a bit. I hope him and Kelly are together forever and they're very happy and they I don't want to break up that family unless he wants to. And then that's
a different conversation.
That's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, my third guest, CJ and I got engaged over Thanksgiving 6 years ago. So I am going to bring who we got engaged in front of, which was Reggie Miller. And Reggie Miller has that iconic bald head. So I am going to have him bring a pub cheese ball because it looks just like his bald head. And you need an appetizer.
Oh,
yes.
And CJ can sit next to Reggie, and CJ loves to shoot a three because I don't think he wants to run the full court anymore. And Reggie is one of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time, so they can talk technique.
Wow. I love that. I feel like that's a really fun table for all of us to have
very
Thanksgiving
fun
dinner
table.
at. Wow. Legal drugs. We've got everything. We've got divorce papers.
We've got basketball, football, baseball, ownership, coaches, wives.
We got it covered. Speaking of CJ, because we've been mean to him this episode, CJ's launched these really cool hats that Zach wants to get his hands on. He's launched some like Home Alone cool follow through hats. Where can the people find these?
I think he's putting everything on sale on Black Friday on like the follow through site. I always ask CJ, I go, please make merch for me. And he's like, I don't really do that. And then he comes out with Wet Bandits merch. I'm like,
Really cool.
well,
It's
that's
really
a fictional
cool.
crime group. But no, he's got a Wet Bandits one. And then the Kenosha Kickers, which is the polka band in Home Alone. We love Home Alone. We're real Home Alone heads.
I need to watch it. I need to get into the Christmas spirit. Finally, before we let you guys go, sports bitch of the week. We haven't done it. We haven't been doing it. Meg, do you want to do the honor?
I know we said we were going to talk about this woman and we haven't yet, so I have to imagine she's sports bitch of the week. The woman who used her wedding dress, her white wedding dress to project a football game onto it. A queen,
Well done.
and we were really like critical of that one Chiefs player sister who got married on a Sunday in football season.
Mm-hmm.
Now this is how you do it. This is how you get married and honor what really matters.
Yeah.
How long does she have to stand there for, we think?
I don't know, but like the TV went out and it wasn't, or the screen wasn't coming down and it wasn't working and nobody could see it. So I think while they were figuring it out, she used her dress and they projected it there while they were figuring it out. Sports bitch of the week.
We love you.
Of the week. All right, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. We are so thankful to have this podcast. We're thankful for Eddie, our number one. And I'm thankful for you gals. I love you both.
Oh, I'm thankful for you.
Yeah, thankful for you. And
Both
Megan.
of you. And Eddie.
And Eddie.
Okay, we will see you guys next week. Be safe, have fun, eat some turkey. Woo!